This is Modern Persian Food,
a culinary podcast for today's food enthusiast.
We talk about classic Persian flavors,
modern recipes,
and embracing culture and identity through food.
I'm Bita.
And I'm also Bita.
Welcome to our show. Hi, friends. Welcome to episode 137. Today, we're joined by a special guest, Orly Eliashar, and we're going to kind of break down and demystify spaghetti Tahdig. We're also going to hear a little bit about Orly's background. We're so happy to have you here, Orly June. She's a private chef, celebrity chef turned recipe developer, well known in our Persian community here. And I really want to hear about this background of Ghost Host. How did you come up with that handle name? And as always, we're joined with co-host, the other Bita June. Hi, ladies.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Bita June and beautiful Bita June. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me. I've been following you guys and watching you guys with all your amazing posts for so long. And so it's so nice to see you in the flesh and talk to you.
Excellent.
We're super excited to have you on the show as well. You, as Bita June said, well known in the Persian community. My Ghost Host, your handle, I literally could spend all day looking at your pictures and videos. So it's very exciting for us to have you on the show as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, the Ghost Host, everybody always asks me, how did you come up with Ghost Host? So that was born through actually friends who used to call me and say, hey, Orly, can you come and help me set up my table? Can you come, help me make this? I have guests tonight. So of course, I love doing that stuff. It's like my soul food. I'd go to their house. I'd help them cook. I'd help them set up and I'd leave. So kind of like a ghost writer, I became the ghost host. And, that's my friends started calling me that. And it kind of stuck and I love it.
That's so fun.
My mom doesn't appreciate it, by the way. She's like, ghost host yani chi?
Oh my God. Ghost?
No, pick something better. I'm like, there's a meaning behind it.
Love that.
Yeah, how awesome. Your friends are super lucky to have you do that, first of all. And I just feel like that kind of is it's the part of the Persian hospitality, I think, in a way where you're just it looks so effortless, yet there's actually so much that goes on behind the scenes to make things happen like that. So that's super fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I was on a podcast and someone asked me, what's one thing you want people to know about Persian food? And I said, I don't necessarily want people to know anything about Persian food in particular, but what's in the background and the person who spent hours making you that meal and all the love that goes in it. So I think that's such a great point. It's so important to acknowledge that.
I love that. Well, in addition to breaking down this macaroni, maybe you can give us some tips on how to host a great party and what it involves for you. And it sounds like it definitely comes from the heart.
It definitely comes from the heart. And, I said in one of my posts that when I was younger, my mom always said, make sure your house is the house that everyone comes to every Thanksgiving, the house that everybody comes to for every holiday. So I think that was embedded in me very early on. And I love being that house. And no matter, even if you're just ordering in pizza for your friends, just to have your friends over, it's so important to do that.
Oh, that's lovely. I guess when you were sneaking into your friend's house, what's involved in that? I think that a lot of it, as far as I guess throwing a party, sometimes it's just pizza, but other times it's about, food presentation and staging and the flowers and the dishes.
Yeah. And it's all about presentation. You eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. So I think visually you have to put some effort into designing your food and candles and flowers and really paying attention to your ambiance. And it's all about details and it does not go unnoticed. People all the time say, oh my God, I love how you put that little something in that dish. And so people do notice, go the extra mile, do it from the heart, be authentic in your love for it. Because I feel like when you're kind of oh, people are coming over. The energy shows in the food. It shows in the party. And I think that's where it stems, in the energy. So start with good energy, good prep. I usually put out my dishes, 2-3 days before, just to place them on my table to see how everything looks visually. I write Post-it notes and put it on the platters for me to see where everything is going. I know it's a bit extreme, but when it comes down to me putting everything on the platters, I'm not looking for platters. I'm not looking to where to put what fits where. Everything's already ready for me. And all I have to do is just transfer it from, the pot or the oven to the platters. So just a little extra effort and time and good vibes and good energy.
Super organized. Those are great tips. I like to do that too. I mean, when you're hosting, a lot of it is to set up, really, I think. So I try to also do that in advance, maybe set this tablecloth, put the platters and the dishes. And so you're not completely stressed out, a half an hour before people are coming over. Oh my gosh, where's the thing that I'm going to flip the rice out into and whatnot. So
yeah. And also if you're having, a lot of people hire some help that night, tell them to come 30 minutes, 40 minutes earlier and show them your kitchen and show them where everything is. So they're not asking you, where are your gloves? Where is this? Where is that? And I know Iranian, we look for, people to assist us, which is so nice, and that we have those resources. But yeah, just take 30 minutes. And once you're organized and have everything ready, the party is a breeze. You're not stressed out. You're not looking for things. You're not making noise. And it's a lot better that way.
Yeah. And when you're organized, it comes across as a host, because then you're able to actually enjoy yourself with your guests too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can actually have like a good time and not like running around all stressed out. And I definitely, if I don't prepare, I'm that person like running around and, what happened? Because I have like this vision. And then if I don't prep with enough time, then it doesn't always happen that way.
And also another thing, even if I'm just presenting my chicken, I'll do the garnishes on the platter. So all I have to do is put the chicken on there.
Oh.
So all your garnishes, all your decor, everything is ready on the platters.
That's a great idea.
So you're not decorating before you're serving. So everything is ready to go. The least amount of steps you have to do at the party, the better.
Yeah. Can you come over to my house?
Yeah, I know. Yes, I will.
Help me out.
I will definitely ghost host for you. Absolutely.
Awesome. I love it.
Okay, so let's talk about this beautiful pasta dish that you make and invert, and it has the tahdig. So I have to say that it is just like so impressive. And I just wanted to call out that when we in Farsi are talking about pasta, it's hilarious how we typically lump all the different types of pastas into one name and call it macaroni.
Yes.
Which is like hilarious, because it's like, I don't even think that's actually a real term of pasta in Italy. So it's kind of like a Americanized version, I guess, but we all call it macaroni. And this tahdig that's like so golden and beautiful and like dripping.
You're making me drool.
It's so good.
You shared a video where you made it, and it's absolutely mouth-watering. I have yet to make a spaghetti tahdig.
Oh, you have to.
I will. I always get inspired after our conversations. But as a culture, I think most of us that are either Iranian or have connections to the culture have experienced just that huge pot of spaghetti. It's very different the way that Persians make their spaghetti.
Actually, like to correct you, it's spaghetti.
Oh, correct. The spaghetti is totally different. The sauce is all mixed in. You can probably describe it better than me. It is freaking delicious. It's different. It's kind of like maybe more tomato pasty with the sauce.
Yeah, and it's drier than usual.
Yes.
Italian pastas, they're more saucy. This is more dry, so the meat is actually stuck on the noodles, so it's not as liquidy.
Yeah.
And, we add our own special spices. We add turmeric, which, Italians do not use unless they're seasoning the noodles beforehand, which I've seen. But I mean, that's like one of the main spices. And I personally use saffron in it. I know a lot of people do as well. So a lot of people kept asking me, how do you get that tahdig? How do you get that perfect flip? So after some recipe testing and, I try to make things foolproof and easy for first timers. And that's why I'm a visual learner myself. So I try to show everything visually and teach visually through Instagram and in person. I mean, I'll literally tell people, take this, I'll show them with my fingers and now you stir. So I'll show them with motion so visual learners can, accomplish making those dishes. Okay. So, I mean, as with all great things, everything starts with onions. So, some oil in a massive pot. And, my friends are like, where do you get these massive pots? Persian markets, find yourself a Persian market. They have ridiculously huge, pots and pans.
Yes.
And though you may think you're not going to use it, you will. So I get myself a massive pan and a little bit of oil. And then I start getting my onions translucent. I add green bell peppers, very, very small chopped, some garlic, of course, and then tomato paste. And then we do some turmeric, mix that all up. And you always in Iranian cooking and, every other cuisine, you want to make sure that you get your tomato paste to a brick color. So it takes about 10 minutes of frying and you have to keep moving it around and make sure it doesn't burn, but you want to have that color change so you don't get that tomato paste taste, the raw taste. And then I like to add a little bit of saffron and have that just cook up. And then I make my pasta noodles. I know a lot of people use bucatini. Old school Iranians use bucatini. They like it nice and thick.
A fatter.
Yes,
Yeah.
the fatter ones.
With a hollow center.
Yes, exactly. So everything gets in there. I like regular spaghetti. And so when you're making your spaghetti, I actually like it a little softer than al dente. I know Italians, that's the other difference. They take out the noodles when it's, got a little bit of middle crunch there. I like it a little bit well done, softer. So when I drain my pasta, and for the tahdig, you have to take a small amount of that unsauced noodles and put it aside because that's going to serve as your tahdig. You don't want to use sauce and then use that as the tahdig because it burns. And my technique is actually using a rice cooker.
What?
Okay, keep telling us.
Thank you to this week's sponsor, lavashack.com. Are you looking for a healthy, fruity snack? Do you love sour stuff as much as we do? Then visit lavashack.com and choose from over 30 different fruit treats that they have on their site, like toffees, fruit leather, fruit paste, and they have so many flavors. Sour cherry, pomegranate, sour plum, kiwi, which is my personal favorite, and so many others as well. They're giving a generous discount of 30% off your first order using the code Modern Persian, and they are truly Persian happiness delivered. Check them out at lavashack.com. Thank you for supporting our sponsors.
Hey friends, just wanted to ask you a quick favor.
If you would like to join on to our mailing list, there's 3 ways that you can do that. You can either go to our website, modernpersianfood.com. You can scroll down in the show notes in whatever app you're using to listen to this podcast, and there is a button that you can click to sign up for the newsletter. Or on Instagram, we have it in our bio, direct links that you can sign up.
Sign up and don't skip a beat.
Okay, so this is a game changer in the macaroni e spaghetti game. So once your sauce is cooked, your pasta is cooked, you take a little bit of the pasta and you put it aside, just enough for the bottom of the pot. And I like to use golden potatoes or russet potatoes, not so much, but golden potatoes are great. Peel those, 1/2 inch slices.
1/2 inch, okay.
I have a mandolin.
Yeah.
You mandolin it? Okay.
You don't want it too thin because it burns.
It will burn, yeah.
It will burn. And, you don't want that.
Do you have a recommendation for the type of oil?
Avocado oil only.
Oh,
Really?
So avocado oil is great because it's got a high heat threshold and it's healthier for you. I'm not into Persian moms and their mazola. Go into their home, throw it out. Nobody should be using mazola or corn oils. Grapeseed oils are okay, but the main thing is avocado oil for all cooking, and extra virgin olive oil or olive oil is great too. But avocado oil in my kitchen.
Okay.
So I pop out my rice cooker, turn it on.
I love it.
Get it warm. So you want it to be hot without anything in it.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So just turn it on for about 5 minutes and then pour in some oil on the bottom. Place your potatoes. And then what you want to do is I put a little bit of saffron on the bottom of that pot as well, just for some color. And actually, my mother-in-law puts coriander seeds as well, which makes it so yummy. Yes.
Wow.
They use a lot of that in northern regions. She's from Babol.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So their food is very different. It's very different than anything you'll ever eat in any part of Iran. It's amazing.
Huh.
So I let the potatoes cook for about 2 minutes and then you flip them.
Oh.
You flip your potatoes. Also, I forgot to say salt and pepper. Obviously, I always assume everybody knows salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper on your sauce. And I have these recipes on my account. So I have a macaroni recipe on there.
Salt and pepper, you meant in your sauce. Okay.
In your sauce. And we have our salted water that our noodles were cooked in. So I'm assuming everybody knows that already.
We like our salt. We love our salt.
We love our salt. Exactly. So after about 2-3 minutes of having your potatoes in your rice cooker, we're going to take some of those noodles that don't have any sauce on it and put it on the bottom. Make yourself, that's your bed, that's your tahdig.
Okay. On top of the potatoes.
Oil, potato, plain noodle. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And then what you're going to do, you can either layer your pasta, then meat sauce, pasta, meat sauce, or I like to mix all of it together. And then I dump the whole thing in there. And I put a little bit of water on the top, just a tiny bit, a couple of tablespoons, just like how you would make rice. Put the top on and let it go for about 20. Depends. I don't like to give you times because every machine is different and you kind of have to eye it. But if you, after 15, 20 minutes, just check the corners, just the edges. And if they're stuck together, that means good things are happening. Your tahdig is forming.
That just check that the edges are kind of
condensed and they're kind of stuck together.
Firm.
Exactly.
Okay.
If not, give it 5 more minutes. And you guys flip and you got yourself a little slice of heaven.
Wow.
And it's so easy. And it's taken the thinking out of, is it done? Is it not done? Did I burn it?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's very easy.
Mm-hmm. One pot. Yeah, it's just one pot. Like if I always do things sort of the long and maybe not most efficient way. I mean, you have to cook the potatoes a little bit, right? So you could do that in another pot. You could do it in the air fryer, but why? If you could do it all in the same pot.
Yeah, no, everything right in there. Once your sauce is done and once your pasta is done, you're good to go. Just assemble it into the rice cooker and you're good to go.
Yeah, because all of the separate parts are already cooked, really. So you're just really doing it for the tahdig.
Yes.
Wow.
Mind blown.
Totally.
And you can absolutely do this in steps or in advance.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And the sauce you can actually freeze and have defrost and put it in there anytime you want.
Yeah, and when we make pasta, we usually make like more pasta than we need. So I always have leftover pasta. So this sounds amazing. I can't wait to try this because it just made it so much more simpler than what I was envisioning.
Yeah. You guys, you have to tell me what you think if you try this because I think I've had, these young girls, newlyweds, young girls, they send me pictures and they're like, I flipped it. It worked. And I get so happy. I'm like, okay, my job here is done. I taught someone how to make macaroni. We're good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, friends, all our listeners who make their macaroni tahdig need to tag Ghost Toast and tag Modern Persian Food. We want to see it.
Yes, please send it to me. I love that.
Yeah, I love it. noodles, when you think about noodles,
Yes.
I mean, we have noodles in like aşırı işte and rişte polo, so there's definitely noodles there, but you don't automatically think, oh, okay, pasta, here's a Persian dish to go with it. So you were starting to tell us a little bit about some information that you learned recently. Will you share with our listeners what it was that you were talking about?
Yes. So our beloved Najmiya, who has been a chef and she has studied food and traveled all over the world. And she's so educated in regards to ingredients and food. And, you know, that's how I learned how to cook as well with her books.
Yeah, like definitely a pioneer of Persian cooking and Persian cookbooks here in the United States and around the world.
Yeah, she's a trailblazer for all of us. She opened the doors for all of us. And so the other day she was on a live with Shali Zomarodi, and she said, oh, by the way, you know, I did this article for the Smithsonian, and there's archaeological proof now that noodles came from Iran. And I was like, wait a minute, I have to find this article. I have to read it. I found it. And I just want to read a small little excerpt of it for you guys, because I found this to be fascinating. And I'm sure the Italians are going to come after us for this and argue, but there is proof.
Yes, share with us, please.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so she wrote, the noodles of my childhood are present in almost every country along the ancient Silk Road. In northern China, a noodle master in what looks like a sleight of hand can stretch and swing a lump of dough into perfect individual strand in 15 minutes. The sauces and soups that enhance these noodles exist in rich a variety in China as they do in Italy. Such mastery would seem to support the old legend that Marco Polo brought noodles from China to Italy in the 13th century. Recent archaeological and linguistic scholarship shows, however, that the transfer was much earlier and in both directions. Today, culinary food historians agree that pasta probably originated in Iran.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's very interesting. And then they basically looked at the words that in history that mean noodle, and it traces back to the Sasanian Persian King Khosrow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in 531 CE, it was probably the Arabs who introduced noodles and the hard durum wheat necessary for making them to Italy in the 9th century. So Arabs actually took it to Italy, but it originated in Iran. And I just wanted that to go on record.
Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Italiano.
You're welcome, world.
We gifted you with all the yummy pasta.
Yes. So it's funny because when I posted my macaroni, Tahdig, I got so many Italians just killing me for it, saying, livid. Like,
you don't do that.
What is this? How dare you?
Disgrace.
To all those people, I just wanted you to know I accept your apology.
Oh my goodness.
This is how you really do it.
Exactly.
Well, this, I guess, then is a definitely very appropriate topic for the podcast, going back to our roots and finding noodles originating in Iran and now how it has transformed into Persian macaroni with a beautiful Tahdig. Orly, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Where can people find you?
My absolute pleasure, Bita June. I am on Instagram under My Ghost Host, MYGHOSTHOST. My Ghost Host, I'm there. I do like daily food content and recipes, and I love sharing what I love.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for being on the show, and we love having you here.
Thank you both for having me. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This was great. I'm going to go eat something. I'm starving. I want some pasta.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go make macaroni today, guys.
Awesome.
Yay. Lovely. Okay. Until next time, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to the Modern Persian Food Podcast with Bita and Bita. Thanks for spending time with us. If you've enjoyed what you heard today, consider telling a friend or giving us a good rating. You can subscribe to our show for free on your favorite podcasting app or find us online at modernpersianfood.com or on Instagram for the recipes and information we talked about today. We'd love to hear your thoughts and see you next time.